All right, we're good to go. Mm. I love that song. I love that song. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? My name is Steve Worthy. I am super excited to be with you this afternoon and many afternoons kind of going forward and evenings going forward as I introduce to you a new and exciting live streaming platform, Opus, that we're going to be talking about briefly today, some overviews on the platform. But more importantly, I want to get across as we go through this this time together, not just for today, but going forward, the importance of live streaming and the concepts and ideas of live streaming and why it's so important for you, whoever may be, if you're a live streamer, if you're a coach, if you're a podcaster, if you're a keynote speaker, if you're a teacher, understanding the importance that live streaming has for your career and for your community is so important. And so making sure that we have an understanding of that as we move forward and to talk a little bit more about Opus and why Opus is a really great solution for you to use for your live streaming needs as well. All right. So I talked a little bit about myself briefly. So Steve Worthy, CEO of Worthy Retail U. One of the things we do with Worthy Retail U is we focus on retail leaderships, helping them understand a little bit more about where they are within their leadership journey, so we can help them move on, move up, or move on, or move out within their career journey, and help them focus on being important with where they currently are, so that way they can move forward. And then also with Podcasters Live. So Podcasters Live, we are, you'll see something that's jumping up here. I actually set this up. It is called the memes, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Steve, with Podcasters Live, we are at the convergence points of podcasters and live streamers. So podcasters, one of the main things that they talk about is discoverability or the lack of discoverability, and also equipment and understanding how to actually leverage different things. We feel at Podcasters Live that live streaming is one of the best ways to actually grow your podcast. And so that's why we call ourselves Podcasters Live. And we are here today to talk a little bit about live streaming and Opus and the platform that we have here today as well. All right. So you have been seeing a couple of memes popping up. And what I want to do is I want to share my screen. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. And let me know if you can see my screen in the comments and things like that as well. I'm going to check the comments on all the different platforms just to make sure I'm not missing anything as well as we continue to kind of move forward with this as well. I'm excited to talk to you guys about this. So why live streaming? Why is it so important for your business? It is a real-time connection with your audience. There is nothing like the ability to connect with somebody and help them problem solve right then and there in front of the camera. The other aspect of live streaming is that it gives you, as the host, if you will, the ability to connect with your audience and give them solutions in real time, and also for them to ask you questions and connect with you in real time. However, with live streaming, there have probably been some limitations. There are the quintessential comments, of course, that everybody will try to leave and put on there, and then you pull up the comments. That's great, but there are some things that Opus has that we'll be talking about briefly today, but talking a little bit more about as we move down the line, that actually helps you connect with your audience even more so. So just did a brief introduction. We're going to do a brief overview of the platform and then talk about, of course, we have our next live stream, which is going to be this Thursday at 6 p.m. So just wanted to make sure everybody knew that as well. So the platform that you're looking at right now, this is kind of the brains of everything. And hopefully, once again, you can see. I'm going to make sure. Oh, there we go. So I am sharing my screen. So what you can see right here are the brains of the overall platform. The thing that I hear the most about whenever I talk to any live streamer or podcaster is that they want to try their best to make things simple. They don't want complicated. They want to be able to tell their story without tons and tons of tech. They want to be able to upload, some slides and help with some scenes, so that way those slides and those scenes can actually tell their story. Then they want to actually be able to click the button, go live, and then also connect with their audience. And there is Opus, as I've been working through the back end of this, there's no other platform that actually provides that level of simplicity, but also with robustness to actually help you connect with your audience in real time as well. So parts of that I'll go through are, of course, very simple. Any of you who've ever done any type of live streaming, you know that there are going to be areas that you need to really focus in on to make sure that you're solid in, and that's going to be your mic. Right here, you also have the ability with your mic to pick various mics that you currently have. I have I guess the live streamers and podcasters luxury of having a whole bunch of different mics. So you will not have this many mics to choose from in your overall setup. So this is a lot. So don't when you go and actually set up for the first time with Opus, don't look for this many. You won't have this many. This is Steve Worthy and my gear acquisition syndrome that I currently have. So you won't have this many. The same thing with your camera. You want to make sure that you actually have a solid camera, that your camera is connected. Once again, I have a live streamer, gas gear acquisition syndrome. So I have a whole bunch of different cameras that are kind of set up within my studio as well. So you have to pick the right camera, and this process makes it so simple for you to pick the correct camera for your process. And then, of course, share your screen, which makes it easy for you to share your screen to your audience, whether it's for your live stream that you want to, like what I'm doing right now, showing the back end of Opus, or you want to do something to connect with your guest. And we'll talk about that here right now. One of the best ways to go live and to really connect with your audience and the audience of other people is to actually, of course, bring on a guest. One of that's the other part about live streaming, is that you want to make the process for your guests as frictionless as possible. So one of the things that Opus does, as you can see right here, I click on the invite guest. I could put their name, and here is my ideal person that I would actually want to have right here. He he will not be joining us tonight. He will not be joining us, and that is Michael Jordan. But I'm going to put him up. I'm going to put him up here anyway. All I have to do is click the copy, click copy link, and send this to Michael Jordan. If anybody has Michael Jordan's email address, please let me know so that way I can send this over to him as well. But that is the simplicity of adding the guests to your overall live stream for Opus. Once you have the guest in the background that's in the green screen, this area right here is called notice. This actually just allows you to send them a quick note. So let's just say you may have a camera issue. You can just click camera issue and send. And what happens is that they see that I'm having a camera issue, so it may be a little bit of a delay, or you know what? They may be nervous. They may be nervous. You can just give them a little bit of encouragement, when just to help them down the line. This is actually great. The other part too is that I love when you actually have maybe one or two guests and may have kids in the background or dogs or something in the background. You can quietly ask them to please mute. There's also a countdown timer that you can have. I've seen this on different platforms where a speaker will actually have a certain time limit and for while they're speaking. So this actually provides that that in a nutshell is there right there. So I like that piece. And then also, if you are a long-winded New Yorker like myself, and you just get on the roll and you just start going and going and going, and you forget that there are other people that need to talk, there is a little button here that says time's up. And you can actually just let them know, dude, your time is up. You've been talking for a while. Okay. Um, Another feature that we have here are the memes. So what you've probably seen a couple of times is that as I was talking, different words, keywords, different phrases were popping up, and that's called the magic memes and magic text overlays that we currently have set up here in the system. And you can go in and you can set up various keywords that you want to actually have pop up within your live stream that adds emphasis to whatever it is that you're saying, to your story, to what to the dialogue that you may be having with your audience or with your guest as well. So you can turn that function on or off, and that automatically allows the system to hear what you're saying, and then it actually will pop up as well. And then, of course, one of the best ways, one of the best ways to engage with your audience is going to be via the poll. So having polls in real time allow you to get real time information. However, polls sometimes can be restrictive. They can be a little analog, if you will, on certain platforms where you have to provide, the percentage, or you have to provide the answer. This one, not so much. With the magic polls allow your guests, allow your audience to answer in real time in their own words, right? You can have auto suggest mode on, or you can do a manual poll question as well. But it allows you to get information from your audience in their own words, and then as you start to receive information, you'll start to see that information come in real time. And it's not so much just a percentage, but it's actually what people are saying. And then it provides a little bit of a breakout around the actual poll data. Now you can actually utilize that poll data for more engagement, for more connection. The other thing, and here's I'm going to tell you this. This is a little secret for those of you who are live streamers. I'm telling you right now, your content. People always ask me, "Oh my gosh, what if I run out of content? What if I run out of this? I don't know what to say. I don't know what my next show is going to be about." Your next content, your next level of content, your next live stream is in the comments. So the more you can get your audience engaged in the comments, in the polls, and this provides another layer of opportunity for you to get more information, because it's not just an arbitrary answer, it's actually how they really feel about something. guess what? Now you can take that information and use it for your own and make it into another piece of content or another piece of topic that you're going to currently have. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying this, all everything that we're talking here about. And I just have a few more things that we're going to discuss, and then we're gonna, close up shop, and then you'll see a couple of more some posts that are going to be on my live stream, that are going to be on my um, all of my different platforms, and what they will be talking about is going to be a little bit more about everything that we are going to be discussing moving forward, relative to um, all the different, um, things that we have over here, whether it's going to be the speakers, the design, all these different things. We're going to be going more in depth. And then we're also going to have guest speakers that are actually going to be on, people who have live streamed for a while, but we're also going to have people who have live streamed they've just started. And so now they want to learn about a different platform. So I'm excited to actually have those people on the floor as well too. All right. Excuse me. Let me get a little bit of water. All right. So this far side over here, this is the other part that's extremely important. This is what makes everything go for your live stream. You have this area over here, and then the bottom part, which are your scenes. Any of you who have used any type of platform know that your scenes are that's where the magic happens, honestly, in the context of your ability to tell your story, your ability to communicate whatever it is that you want to communicate with your audience, your ability to provide intrigue for your story. Also, more importantly, for you to reach the outcome that you want based on your live stream, right? Because the goal with any live stream is not just to have a not just to have a call to action, but it's also to provide, some sort of change for your audience. Excuse me. One of the things that happens, what I see typically with live streamers, is that they just disseminate information. That could probably be one of the worst things that you want to do as a live streamer. It's not just about disseminating information. It's about the ability to tell your story, and to tell a story that has some type of beginning, middle, and end. And then also, what is the audience going to get out of it? What is going to be their takeaway? What's something that they can do? We This is how we put it with our podcast and our live stream. What's something that they can do directly after the live stream, or right after they finish listening to the podcast? So your area down here for your scenes are so important, and we're going to go through, not today, but we're going to go through how to set up, storytelling aspects for your scenes. Also, maybe for your podcast. So for your live stream podcast, you can use this to actually go ahead and set up all of your scenes, all of your talking points, everything that you're going to talk about. So the scenes is where the magic happens down here. The speakers, we talked about that briefly. Your ability to add a speaker, your ability to change up their name, their information, whether or not they're actually how they're going to appear on the screen, whether they're going to be round or they're going to be square, and you can also change their background as well. Very very simple. And here's why I say it in that context is because when you're live streaming, you don't want a whole bunch of stuff kind of going on. Hopefully, you see my background. My background is very simple. There's some lights and some things going on, but I try my best to try to keep it simple, um, and professional, but also I try to make sure that hopefully the content that you're receiving is the most important thing that you're getting out of this. And so when I say that, the ability to add a speaker and to make sure that how they look is very simple, that's the importance of live streaming. You don't want complicated. You want to be able to keep everybody's attention. From a design standpoint, there are different aspects that you can utilize. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself over here too. on this one. On this one, um, when what I just did was I just changed scenes, and I added a couple of different backgrounds to the platform. Very simple, very easy to do. We'll talk about that down the line, how to actually customize different backgrounds. You can, of course, go to Canva, create what you need to do, and then download it here. And then all you have to do is actually um, hit the button. Actually, there we go. I'm not patient enough. You hit the button, and then your background scenes can change behind the individual speaker as well too. So very simplistic in nature, but also with the ability to customize your overall experience and what you want to get out of the live stream, or excuse me, what you want your audience to get out of the live stream. Stickers. Took the liberty, of course, earlier to upload several different stickers. These are, of course, you saw the stickers um, in this in on this scene with myself talking a little bit more about what we do, Podcasters Live, and also retail leadership with Steve Worthy. So that's what we have for there as well. And the stickers, once again, they have to be JPEG, and they can be JPEG or PNG, but we can also talk a little bit about that as we move down the line. And if you don't have, the Canva, or you don't have something very specific, or let's just say you're in here and you're working on your scenes and you're working on your placement. You also have Giphy here, and you can actually go in, add a URL. If you already have, a URL to a very specific image, and then you can actually click that in here and then click confirm. And now you can add your own, customized images that way as well. So there's a couple of different ways for you to upload, your content that's actually going to be very specific for you. One of the things that I will probably, you know, um, since I know we have some the tech people on here for Opus too. One of the things that you may want to think about too is that creating folders. So one of the areas that as you start to go and do more and more shows, you're going to probably have very similar pieces of images and stickers that you're going to use. So being able to put certain things in a folder, and then going into that folder and actually being able to pull out all of the collateral from that folder, and then being able to put it and use it in here from a scene standpoint, is probably going to be advantageous. Sorry for that little piece of feedback. It just came to me right off the top of the head. I know we'll probably save some of that stuff for our strategy session, but it just came to me as I was thinking about this. Makes life a little easier for everybody else. Videos. Videos are are just that. They have the ability. I do apologize. I'm a little self-serving, but though that's what you can do. That's what you can do when you actually upload your videos. You can upload very specific videos that you currently have. Um, it could be a video. I did a podcast live stream, and what I did was I uploaded various video clips of the speaker, and it was this video clips from Instagram and YouTube, and they didn't know it. It was really cool. And what I did was I played those little video clips as almost an introduction to the questions. And so it just provided a different element to the overall experience than me just arbitrarily asking questions. So when you start to think about this platform and your ability to utilize it, you have to think outside the box. And if you think outside the box, typically you can do it with this platform. You can add different clips. You can mix things up. It's all about your imagination. It's all about the story that you actually want to tell when you actually utilize Opus, and also go live streaming or utilize it from a live stream podcast standpoint as well. And there's a couple other pieces, and I'm gonna call it a day here. And these are just slides, and I don't mean in that these are just slides. This is where you can, once again, if you're given a presentation, you can actually upload your PowerPoint, you can upload your PDF file, and you can actually make it go move backwards, forwards, or whatever while you're actually presenting. The other thing that you can do with this too, if you are just beginning, say you're just beginning your live stream journey, and you want to have talking points, and you want to just say, Steve, I just want 2 slides. I want like an introduction slide, and then I want this. And this is, and I'm saying that you shouldn't take advantage of all the other features, but for you to get started, right? The barriers of entry for you to get started shouldn't be there for you. And Opus knocks down those barriers, because if you wanted to, you can simply utilize this as an opportunity to tell your story. Use your PowerPoint, upload your PowerPoint, have your picture and image here, and then just go from slide to slide. And if you wanted to, for emphasis, just go back to yourself, then that's exactly what you can do, right? Just to emphasize your point. So maybe three scenes. If that's what you need to get started with, then allow that to be your entry point. But don't allow the idea of not starting to hinder you and your growth and whatever it is that you want to do, and the story that you want to tell, and the audience that you want to connect with. Okay, so slides are there, and then banners. Banners, you see the banners that are actually going down the bottom. It's also, banners are a great way of storytelling. You can also use banners per scene. So when you are asking your guests, say you have a guest on, and you're asking a very different question, and what happens is that when people are listening to your live stream, they're doing other things as well. So please understand that. And they may miss the question. They may miss what it is that you and your guests are talking about. So if you have the question that you just asked your guest at the bottom kind of scrolling, and you just simply change scenes, what a great way to kind of re-engage, your audience. What a great way for them to be like, oh man, I'm so happy I was able to see the fact that you asked them about, this microphone. So now they're able to actually engage with you, re-engage with you after probably doing something else. So your ability to utilize your banners are going to be extremely important as you kind of go through this process of your live stream journey as well. And then comments. And we have a couple of comments up here as well. As well. And we have Miss Sherry Jones, the lovely Sherry Jones. Interesting platform. Interesting platform. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Sherry Jones. And then we also have this guy. If you ever see this guy on your live stream, I'm telling you right now, just delete him. No, I'm so joking. I'm so joking. This is one of my live stream, I want to call them guys that I've learned a lot from, and that we've been able to kind of share stories with and been in the fire together. What's an opportunity? What an opportunity you see that still needs work from the Opus platform? Good question. Good question. I think one of the things we talked about a little bit about was, just when you start to think about storytelling, the ability to add different assets, some of your collateral, and make it stay, of course, on the platform. You can do that, but being able to, store different things, whether it's, different marketing pieces or whatever it is, and being able to pull some of those things out that you can do as well. James, one of the things that you and I speak a lot about is that ability to engage with your audience. So just like you and Cher have provided, comments, that's cool. And both of you have actually been on my Pomodoro live streams. When I say, hey, if you're willing to, if you want to come up to um, the live stream, you can. So that has always been something that I wanted to do, but you know how that goes when you're live streaming to 15, 20, 30, 40 people, and you just open up the invitation for people to come up, man, you are opening up Pandora's box, man. And so one of the great things that Opus has actually done has actually provided, and hopefully you guys can still see my screen. Let me smooth that out. Is that you have, and we're gonna probably close on this one, is the ability to actually have video comments. So, and I will show you because I actually really, 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 really like this one. And I'm gonna add it to the screen. So hopefully it's added to the screen. All right. And I'm gonna hide my banner so that way you guys can fully see it. So let's test this. We're gonna close out on a high note. I would like for somebody who's in the audience to go ahead and actually scan this barcode. And what this barcode does, it allows you to create a very quick video. And that video gets sent back to me, and I do have the ability to actually play that video. We're going to be getting more in depth, but you know what? Since James asked me about some of the different things that the platform can do, I really wanted to emphasize this one, and I wanted to close with this, is because audience engagement is so important to the host as a live streamer. The tendency is that when you are just starting with your live streaming or your podcasting, you are literally speaking into the void, right? I have done, when I first started live streaming, and Cher can probably attest to this too. I don't think so. Cher always had a whole bunch of people. James and I can probably attest to this, is that when we first started live streaming, we would be live streaming to like no one. We had these communities and different things that we were trying to do. But what happened is that we would be speaking to no one. And so now that we have built up our audience, one of the other ways that we would like to do is to connect with our audience. And so the video comment is a way for us to connect with your audience in real time fashion. So let's see if we have any comments that are up here. Oh, let me make sure. I want to go through all of the comments that we have here. I'm looking forward to trying out the features. It says you have a lot. You have a lot that I like. Yep, the video. Let me just make sure. Go back through here. Video call and show. Very, very much so. Very much so. Very much so. Okay, video comments. That's dope. It is. It is dope, right? I as I was going through this process, I was like, wow, this is actually really good. It looks like the Opus has way more engaging features, and one thing I really like is that it allows the creators to upload stickers, logos, and CTAs. 100%, right? The ability for you to customize your connections with your branded pieces to your audience is so important. And not just these arbitrary thank you and all these other things, but you can actually create some more brand awareness by actually uploading some of your own pieces as well too. So thank you, Rebecca, for putting that out there. I appreciate that. I had that void experience too. Everybody starts somewhere. Oh, did you? Okay, sure. I'm glad you did. I didn't know if you were gonna have that experience because you're a superstar. Okay. Looks like we do have a video comment. I just want to make sure and go through all the rest of these comments. I also have left some comments on Facebook, but they aren't showed up. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I appreciate the feedback on that one as well too. So James says, just left. I like to see how you're notified. And here you are, asking you shall receive. We actually have two different notifications right here. And I'm going to play Mr. James first.
Dr. Worthy. Yeah, man. Checking out these video comments. Okay. This is actually pretty dope. I'm liking this capability, and then the ability, I would assume, to pull this into the live stream as well. So, um, all right, I'll check out Opus. Thanks a lot for sharing and showing this new platform. Be well, man.
The wait to actually utilize. Oh, for a second. Okay, my mic was mute. You don't actually have to wait till the end and then use these. You can, if you wanted to use these for not yet. I don't think that we'd have the capability. And Rebecca, I see Rebecca has one up here too, and I want to make sure I'll pull Rebecca's video comment up here as well. But James, you're 100% correct. You can utilize this in real time to connect with your audience and actually sort of kind of put them back into the audience once you've kind of you've brought them to the stage. So that's a great point. Thank you for.
Hi, Steve. Really great content. And based on what you described, I feel like one thing that I really like about Opus is that it allows for me to upload all kinds of like logos, overlays, and stickers. And I feel like everything is fully resizable and you can reposition it anywhere that you want. And this is super important for me to like for my personal branding. And I do like the engagement features that you show during your live, and I look forward to more of that in your future episodes.
That. So there we go. Thanks, Rebecca. I really appreciate that. So just a couple of examples of what you can actually do with Opus. Hopefully, you've learned a couple of different things around some of the different tools and techniques that we currently have. The ability to upload customizable assets for your brand to tell your story, understanding the importance of the scenes and how you have to set up your scenes to tell your story. The ability to bring guests on and then actually connect with your guests and how your guests can connect with your audience in real time. So we will be going live once again this Thursday at 6 p.m. And we'll be going a little bit more in depth on a couple of more of these different tools that we currently have. And hopefully we get an opportunity to see you there. And let me know in the comments whether you are looking at this you looked at this live or you looked at this on the replay. Please make sure if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave those in the comments so that way myself and the Opus team can actually take a look at those and answer those questions for you. And maybe there's a feature, maybe there's a thought or something that you've been thinking about. Maybe you're thinking about going live streaming and you've been looking for the ideal platform to kind of just go ahead and get started with. Well, here you are. So have a great day and God bless.